Okay, hi y'all. I missed you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, holla.
Hi. How nice. We were saying that we kind of got into a little bit of taking this for granted back in the spring, but we absolutely are so excited to be back together tonight. Aw.
Yes, it's so nice to see all of you and talk to you.
Oh, it is so nice. We're using Zoom tonight. We haven't had as much trouble tonight trying to get back together. So that was a blessing. We did not want to have to do. I think that's what kind of got in our way at the end of recording our last few episodes is it was taking close to an hour to get all of our audio to work. If you're just now meeting us, we live in Canada, Utah, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Texas. And so getting those audios to work with each other is not easy.
Amen.
That's an understatement.
It's a nice way of.
It's a good thing we pay a super talented tech person to put it all together.
Thanks, Sherri. We are missing our Ashley tonight. She was not feeling well this afternoon and so had to bow out in the 9th hour, which made Sherri think that we weren't recording a podcast this evening. So B and Cam and I were like, where is she? But, still shooting the bull. So we don't have a hard time filling space with words. And so we just kept talking and talking. And finally it was like, 20 minutes passed. And I was like, is she coming? Like, where is she? I would have thought the same thing, honestly. Anyways, how have you guys been?
Good.
Y'all are
Great.
are so
It's
quiet.
onions right now, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting hot and heavy into onions, so it's gonna be busy for a minute.
How much longer will that go be?
We'll be 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then we'll be running them in the shed. So till about January.
We went through corn harvest recent and have ended up in soybean harvest. Double crop beans, I think is what we would say, right, Kim?
Yeah. Sorry, my goats are running outside my door and I can hear their bells.
Sometimes when I ask Kim a question, she answers. Sometimes her goats need her. And so you never know like which of those like if you're ever like is Cam mad at Jess? Why isn't she talking? It's goats. It's just goats. It's just goats.
What's the answer? Goats.
Goats. Her goats are so cute. You have to watch Cam's stories. I watch Cam's stories all the time. And
oh yes,
there's a delay. Right. Mm-hmm. There's a delay. Don't listen for any of Cam's feedback in the next. There's a delay. She's answering to a few things we were talking about a minute ago.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and talk about that for a second.
Okay.
She'll call me and be like, oh, what did you do yesterday? Well, I posted on Instagram the whole entire day. If you watched my stories, you would know what I did yesterday. And every time she's like, Cam, I don't watch your stories.
I don't watch anyone's stories. I don't watch anyone's. I watch Lily's. That's all. I was on a roll with Sherri's because that's her love language. And don't do that anymore. So our love is dead.
Yep.
And it's just that this is my excuse. I think it's my personality where we have a podcast. So I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts. And so like I spend my whole day doing stories. And so I don't have time. I don't watch other stories. I'm so sorry. I'm going to.
So you're saying you're an a-hole is what you're saying.
But I don't think that I am. I don't think that I am.
I know you don't. That's the problem, Jess.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You have zero self-awareness. That's the problem.
No, I'm kidding. Sometimes I have to just like
every day, but
I know. And I love you for that.
She just doesn't love you enough to do it back.
Maybe it's like an attention disorder thing. I just can't sit long enough to watch them.
Sometimes I have to turn off stories too because I get lost in them.
Me too.
It's like a time guzzler.
I don't watch any. I watch Lily's just to see what she put on there. I'm watching Liza's because she's new. And that's it. But I promise I was watching Sherri's. I'm going to have to start back watching everybody's.
we don't know how to do this anymore.
Mm-mm. Well, we also don't have a list. So like Jess is hosting, but we have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, because neither does Jess. So Sherri, what? Sherri Lou, what are y'all doing on the farm right now?
We are done. We only have one more field of canola, so we're done all our grains and like, yeah, oil plants like the edible peas and stuff.
Yeah.
All we have left is soybeans, but I think it's gonna be like 2-3 days because Andrew was out there checking pods and they're all empty. So
Okay.
it's been an insane drought, and then we had 4 inches of rain in like 2 days,
Huh.
and then everything rotted. But like the really weird thing is that now it's like regrowing. So like I
Mhm.
have a field of flax and canola right next to the yard here that's starting to, like, chunks of it are starting to bloom again, and it's
Yeah.
really quite interesting. So it's been a weird, super weird
Mhm.
harvest, and yeah, I think it's going to be, once the soybeans are ready, it'll be like a couple of days and done. So it feels like harvest is kind of done already because we're starting to work the fields already, like harrow and till and do all those things. So
And you're done cooking?
I my motivation is gone. I still have, I think I could still salvage, not tons. I think I could probably still salvage 5 meals from what I
Okay.
have frozen in the freezer.
Okay.
So I think I should be good. I'm not cooking anymore for harvest. Sorry, dang
You're
my
not.
bell. Nah,
You're
I'm
done
just,
with that.
my motivation is gone, and I'm just not gonna.
Yeah. I get there too. I get there too. And then he'll mention like somebody brought food, like one of the other wives or something. And I'm like, what? Like it makes me,
Yippity-dee.
I know, I'm like, what did they make? And like, I don't even do it enough to get mad, but
Mm,
I wish I did. And in my head, I did. Like these days,
mhm,
I like, have a lot of self awareness.
mhm.
And,
Oh, shit.
and I'm so busy watching all y'all's stories because of all the guilt trips that I don't have time to cook for people or love
My
on others
vocabulary,
like Christ would want us to.
my vocabulary isn't big enough for me to be like say self-awareness and know what the hell that means. So I think you just need to like, back up off that. Just kidding.
Okay. B, can you catch us up on your summer? What went down in Utah in the summer for
Well,
y'all's family?
we have just been playing. Like it's been hotter than Hades.
Uh-huh. It is.
And
I don't think of y'all being hot because you're so north.
oh, we're so hot.
So north. It's not correct, Sherri. Don't worry. Sherri's like, y'all talk so different down there. No, they don't talk like me. I just said it differently.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been hot and it's been super smoky. We've been smoking like 4 packs of California every day,
Wow.
and because of the wildfires.
Uh-huh.
And like Oregon, when they were on fire, we got a bunch of that. So yesterday, well,
Wow.
I mean, I told you guys before, I just miss the blue skies and the clouds. And so this weekend after that big rainstorm, we got some clouds. So that felt good.
Brent, in your stories, that looked insane. Like it was like windy and rumbly,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden it was like torrential downpour.
It was crazy. We've had some
Mhm.
really cool thunder and lightning the last few weeks too. So that's been kind of cool. Unless
Yeah.
it hails, that's not cool, but
No,
it has stayed pretty mild. So
that's insane. Yeah, your stories looked insane, and I always
Mhm.
watch your stories because I love your stories.
I always watch your stories too.
Mhm.
Aw.
Like
Y'all are a lot
I,
y'all are a lot better human beings. B, where are y'all as far as like having to wear masks, lockdown, or where are y'all like y'all's little area to like today?
we're pretty open.
Uh-huh.
Our county has been most of the time. When we did have mask mandates, nobody enforced it. Like it wasn't like people are getting arrested for it.
Okay.
And that's how it is right now too. Right now we don't have any mask mandates in the state, and the kids are in school with no masks.
Good. I'm
And
so glad to hear that.
so that's been, I mean, if I would have been one of those moms at the state capitol with a
Yeah.
$1 poster sign and chanting,
Yeah.
like I'm there. So
Mhm.
that's been good. Our governor's kind of a dingle, but
Mhm.
there's no mandates on anything, which is
Okay.
nice.
That's so nice.
That's
So
Sherri, y'all's changes so frequently. Where are you guys today?
Have you ever watched the movie V for Vendetta?
Oh, dear Lord, for real?
I should.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
man. I actually just said I try to stay out of it on my stories just because it like I said one thing one time and I got put like 2 weeks in jail in like Instagram jail. Not actual
Really?
jail. But we it's insane how you when you are constantly being I use attacked as a very loose term. So when you go out in public and people strongly tell you their opinion with
Mhm.
no
Oh,
like, do you know what I mean?
oh
I'm just
yeah.
I'm treading very carefully because
Like
it is
confrontations, uninvited confrontations.
it yes, exactly. And where we're at right now is we are I am scared to even say this out loud.
You don't have
So
to.
it's okay.
Okay.
If this podcast gets flagged, it's my you know exactly why.
Right.
So we are Manitoba has digital vax passports. So you now to go into a lot of like sporting events like hockey games or the theater or museums or a lot of like shops and things that you would like go shopping in or anything, even some healthcare facilities like specialists and stuff. Like our daughters have braces, so for them to go to the gum specialist, they have to be double vaxxed. Or and now almost I think every I'm gonna say this again loosely, but I think every school division, every major business, including like just corporations and hospitals and stuff, for you to keep your job, you have to be also have your digital vax passport and masks are like you have to wear a mask everywhere. So the girls have to wear masks in school. Um, the talk is that they will probably have to be vaccinated to stay in school, and this is all I'm going to say about it is whatever your choice is, let it be yours. I don't care what you choose as long as you feel comfortable and respected. I think it should be a freedom of choice. And I also know never in history has a government forced mandates and ended up being the good guy.
Right.
amen. We can
That's
end
well
right now.
said. Yep.
Yep.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Good night.
Goodbye. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't and this is why you're being very careful with your words, is because the government in Canada has passed basically you can't talk against them, right, without getting
Fined.
fined.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I have friends that went to protest and I don't know if they like officially got arrested or if it was just a fine, but they definitely spent some time in the back of a police car. And it wasn't, I
Sherri.
wouldn't even call it protesting. They were just asking people what they thought, like just saying, what do you think? And
Mm,
trying to draw light to, well, of course you can get vaccinated if you want to. That's your choice. But also, you know, if you choose not to, that should be a choice too.
mhm.
And the whole digital passport thing just feels way too much like it's bordering on like socialist, like post-apocalyptical, like kind of,
Sci-fi.
yeah, it feels weird.
Mhm.
Like it feels like, am I the only, like I kind of am looking around like this,
Yeah.
oh, we're all just okay with it. And
Yeah.
yeah, so obviously to leave the country or even like to leave the province, um, it it's crazy. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's insane. And you do feel afraid. I think everyone, which is I think why it's the laws are being so easily mandated because they have people incredibly afraid.
Mm.
Welcome to this uplifting podcast.
Right. Well, we don't need to just pretend like things aren't going on also. I mean, we can walk a line of talking about the things that matter and checking on each other because our situations are very different. Our situations keep
Yeah.
flopping. Like we get in
Mhm.
lockdown, Sherri's like running naked down the street. She
I do that
goes in
anyways.
lockdown. we're back out. I mean, I've never had a friend, much less a best friend in Canada. So to know the difference has been crazy. And so many friends have asked when we're all getting together. And I'm like, we can't get in to see Sherri, and we can't get Sherri out to meet up with her. And that's not something, and to be completely transparent with our audience, and B and Sherri can agree or disagree, but that is to the point where we got on our last episode is we've had it just talking to each other over text, over a podcast, over a screen. Y'all don't know, but we talk to each other every single day. Every single day we talk to each other. And I've never had a group of friends like that outlasted a year or 2 years or whatever we want to say. And so we honestly got to a level of closeness that it physically hurts.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Jess, don't do it.
Yeah.
We've gotten to a level of closeness where this is just not going to cut it anymore. And so I think we got angry and mad and resentful, or at least I did. And to where I didn't want to participate in it anymore because it wasn't enough for me. I just want to hold Sherri, and I mean, this is one of our best friends, B, and we can't even be in person with her, and it's just,
it's like heartbreaking. I feel helpless.
It's too much. And so we speak every day. Some days are surface because we're all pissed. We're not pissed at each other. We're just pissed at the situation. And some days we're like, find our big girl britches and say, okay, this is the best we can do. So we're going to make the best out of it.
And we can't talk about it really a lot, what's going on for Sherri, because we don't want her to get fined and get dinged, and because they are watching everything she's doing. And so
we can't really get the word out so that others, I'll go behind the scenes and just ask friends, will you pray for one of us, the redhead, just, because people don't know, people aren't, we're down here just in our own world and not realizing what things are doing up there. So
my favorite conversations have been about prepping and canning and apocalyptic shit,
right?
I am there. I actually I go through spurts. So I'll have, like Jess says, I'll have a day or two of angry, and then I will have a day of sad where I am just bone weary sad. That's
today.
And then a really good friend asked me to stitch this beautiful TikTok that she made, and I ended up for like an hour, which was incredibly cleansing.
It was so good.
But then I know that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to kick ass. Like, so it goes like 5 days of kicking ass, 2 days of angry, 1 day of sorrow, and then it kind of repeats.
Why is it like
somewhere
that?
in there, I'll have a psychotic day where I'll want to rip out like all of our like power lines and get solar panels and get animals and store like just be like completely like a self-sufficient, I guess, a cult essentially, like just to be my own. Like, let's just start our own community here.
Yes. Cambria keeps popping in and out, and we can't get her to stay. I wish she was here.
Every time I see her name pop up, I get a bit excited, and then she goes away.
She gets in for about 1 second.
But like, do I have a pantry full of like super weird survival stuff? Yup. No regrets.
Maybe that's why God is growing our relationship so much in the past 2 years, is because we are supposed to start a cult. And
what you would want.
It's like a polygamous compound, but we all have our own husbands.
Sister wives, like, I'm totally down with.
I would do it in a second.
When right after a fire, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, who had just gotten married, they'd been married like a month, they invited us into their home us four family to stay with him, and we stayed with him for almost a month.
Really?
And yes, like angels. They were such angels.
Wow.
And I'll never forget, like, her and I folding laundry together and cooking supper together, and like we just kept looking at each other like we get why sister wives work.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
can you imagine, like, all of us just living together and sharing? Like, I could clean for days and days and days if that meant I never had to cook another day in my life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bless you. I'll do the cooking
Sounds good.
if you'll clean up my dishes.
Do y'all know when you have to get more creative with your jabs to your husbands because they've heard it all? So like you can use divorce and that stings for a little bit, but now it doesn't. They just don't even hear it. So you have to get creative with your jabs. These days I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna be a lesbian. I'm gonna be a lesbian. I am going to find somebody that knows how to talk to me and sees me for who I am. That's my new thing. I'm a lesbian now.
I want to hear Brenna's thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
It really does.
You know exactly what that other person is. Like me, I lay in bed and I'm like, I wonder what Jake's thinking. And he's thinking of like diesel fuel.
Yeah.
And I think he's thinking, and now if it was like a man, he would be like, oh, Jake's just thinking of diesel fuel. Instead, you know, like you get that, but yeah, you get that what that other person's needing and feeling and thinking.
Yeah.
Well, is it Ollie or Trig?
Trig.
Hi, Trig. Well, and that's what I was thinking. He can't hear me, hubby.
Oh no, he can't.
Okay, I was going to say this next sentence. Hi, boo boo. I'm gonna wave and say this next sentence that he can't hear. Sometimes when we do get into the thick of it, I'm like, I just don't understand why God instilled this carnal need in me to be seen and heard, then paired me with an opposite part of the species that doesn't have the capacity to see or hear. Like I don't know what to do. And it's only about 2 days of the month for us, but it's so extreme. And so I'm like, that's it. And so I did finally tell him, I'm like, Kim's taking over on those days. But so that brings me to one of my main questions I was going to talk to you guys about tonight is, you know, over the pandemic and quarantine, we've kind of pressed pause. I know we talked about this a little bit in the spring, but we've had a lot more work that we've been able to do on ourselves. And so whether it be physical or spiritual or mental or emotional, what is something that you're really proud of yourself and you'd like to brag on yourself as far as you got to work on it this year and you're seeing some flexing, you're seeing like, I'm changing these habits that I don't like about myself. B, you go first because yours is huge.
Oh, thank you. Mine's huge.
Yours is huge.
I don't really know.
B,
I think my health has probably been.
Oh, you think?
Just
think it's worth mentioning.
Just a little.
Just a little. Just whisper
just
it.
A little.
It's not that big of a deal.
They're fighting. I can hear them.
Good fighting or bad fighting?
Bad fighting. I can hear Trig talking him out of coming in here to tattle because we're recording. But yeah, my health it's been so hard. I don't even want to make eye contact to you while I talk about this.
Why?
I don't know, because I'm weird.
Okay.
Just look down. It's okay.
Yeah, look down. We'll look away.
Because I don't want to talk about my weakness and I hate talking about myself. But it's been really hard to adjust because I hate diet culture. I hate that's not weird at all. Now they're covering their face in the Zoom call. That's not weird. I hate diet culture.
Yeah.
I hate that society is telling everyone how to look.
Yeah.
Instead of how it feels so good to feel good.
Yeah.
And so we feel so much shame in not being a certain size or not having the hair extensions. So I really hate that part of society. Can you hear them?
It's okay. Don't worry. It makes mamas feel so normal.
Okay. So I was on the pendulum where I was like far left field and of diet culture. Don't tell me what to eat. Don't tell me what not to eat.
You were
Don't tell me
rebellious.
that And so then I go to the doctor and he tells me all these things. And he's like, Brenna, it's not if you get heart disease, it's when you get heart disease. Your heart levels are off the charts. And so that, and you hear all the time, like, find your why. And I never could find my why because my why was always based around
like superficial.
Say hi.
What are you doing? Ollie, are you acting sweet, but you're coming to tattle on Trig? Yeah. You sure are cute.
I'm almost done, okay? Okay, here, have some candy.
Oh. Be
Okay.
nice, Trig.
Bye, Mom.
Oh.
So
buds.
then my pendulum swung all the way to the other side. So I'm just trying to find that balance where I'm swinging back in the middle between, I know I don't have to look a certain way for society, but like my health journey has, obviously I've lost some weight because of it. And it's okay to, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Did you lose like 3 or 4 pounds or?
Yeah, it's only been about 5 pounds.
Yeah.
I lost about 35 pounds.
Did you lose a Backstreet Boy?
Yeah, I've lost
At
like
least
a
the Spice
toddler.
Girl.
Congratulations, B. That's so crazy great.
So it's getting better. I'm finding that middle ground. I'm seeing that like flex in my mindset about I don't have to give into diet culture, but also I need to be healthy. I want my immune system strong. I want my heart healthy. So now I'm just swinging back and forth between. I hope that made any sense.
It does. And yours went a lot around, didn't it? You were playing with different foods and seeing like what your body worked with. And I really do want you to teach me how to do that. And I was hearing a really neat doctor the other day talk about how COVID, like, it attacks the inflammation in your body. So if you have inflammation in your joints, you'll feel it in your joints. If you have it in your gut, you'll get a stomach. If you have it in your lungs. And so that's what I was really wanting to concentrate like you be, because I feel like I walk around like the Pillsbury Doughboy, just like from what I eat. Like I'm just like, even right now, my fingers are so gross and swollen and my ankles are swollen. And
so
I
can tell a huge difference in that. Like I can wear my wedding ring again.
Really?
And I haven't worn my wedding ring in like 6 years. And so that feels good. But yeah, I can, when this is stupid and I'll quit talking in like 4 seconds.
It's not stupid.
The arm, like my arms were, and my wrists were so swollen.
Wow.
That like, I didn't even have a line from like my tendon to my bone. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like this line right here.
Yeah.
And within like the first 3 weeks, I could tell that it was like, that my joints don't hurt, and it's not a diet that I'm restricting foods just to test them in to see if they make me sick or not. I'm not restricting foods.
So B, if you introduce, as you went along, I should have already asked you this, but as you went along, when you introduced a new food, what was the main thing that told you this food is not welcome? Like, I can't do this food. This is going to be taken off the list. What was your main things?
So before I started, I was feeling tired, like no energy to like I didn't even function. I could sit on my couch all day and not do a dang thing.
Yeah.
And then I would just sit and beat myself up for it. But then I took everything out, and when I introduced, like, pork is one of them.
That didn't work.
It like made me kind of nauseous. It made my body tired, like I just didn't even want to do anything. And so and then it just felt like what I felt like before I started.
In that first couple of weeks, what were your few foods that you started with?
So I could have sweet potatoes, chicken.
How'd you decide what to start with?
That's what he gave me.
Okay.
Like he gave me a list of foods that I could eat. So chicken, turkey, sweet potatoes, vegetables, avocados. Just
that's
really
a lot. That's a lot on that list.
Yeah. But going from like Snickers bar and Pepsi to
Yeah.
a sweet
Yeah.
potato with the side of celery, I wanted to kill myself.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
So nothing hits quite like a Snickers bar. So yeah, that's it. And I couldn't have pepper because that was one of the just like, and they did a blood test to see what food in my blood makes me have
Like
inflammation.
Mm.
Intolerance.
So I would
and
take
stuff.
like cauliflower,
Mhm.
cantaloupe, lettuce,
That's a big one.
spinach, black pepper, baker's yeast. So I had to take those out too.
Really?
So
What do you miss the most that you had to take out?
oh, candy for sure.
Candy?
That was like, that's how I cope. So when
Yeah.
I get sad, I go to Maverick and I get me a Pepsi. Shut flashes Reese's. When I'm happy, I go get a drink and a piece of candy. When I'm sad, that's just how I do. So
Yeah, me too.
carrots don't hit that spot very
You
good.
might not have this candy, but you might not also have my extra 35 pounds. I mean, you can be jealous of that if you want to be jealous of that.
Oh,
And-
so I can't
and
wait to have a
energy.
piece of candy.
I
Candy
know.
corn. I can't wait for candy corn.
Well, I hope you'll coach us because I need your help. I want to do that process. I want to go do the blood work and then I want to ease into it. I want to wade into it just like you did. And I know it's going to
Yeah.
suck. It's going to
It
suck.
does suck.
Cam, oh my gosh. I said Cam's name and she disappeared.
It's
She
like
was
reverse
here.
Beetlejuice.
She was here for the whole time. Sherri, can you go next while Cam is trying to get back in? What was one of the things mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, one of your flexes from the past several months?
I don't have any.
I was going to answer it for
Come
you.
on.
I feel like I'm still in it, so maybe that's why it's hard for me to, put kind of. What are you gonna say?
Because you've walked through the entire thing with the most grace of any of us. We would have, all of us, maybe not Cambria, all of us would have shut down and we wouldn't be functioning at the level that you are. And there were days that you struggled before all of this that you've never repeated again to us. And to me, your strength is so loud, it's deafening. I watch you every day and I'm like, I would have crumbled by this point. You go.
I agree. I'm not living that life, and so watching other people live it makes me want to shut down, and you are right in the thick of it, and I can't even fathom. So you are a badass.
Yep.
Like I do crumble. I do fall apart. I do, like today is a bone weary sad day. I also, I guess, yeah, like I try to be very transparent with my mental health, hoping that maybe someone out there doesn't feel quite so alone. Because I think the biggest thing that we all feel like in Southern Manitoba here is alone. Cam, please tell me you're here.
I'm here, and you are a badass.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
If that's Kim's only sentence on the podcast, I'm happy. There she goes. She's
Oh,
gone.
dang it, she's gone.
I would say the biggest thing, I guess, realizing to accept grace, you have to give yourself grace. That's I
Yeah.
think more so what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and like I haven't been on medication like for my depression or anxiety, I would say since Leah was probably 2-3 years old, and now I've gone back. Do I feel like a failure? Heck no, I don't feel like
You
a failure.
shouldn't.
I feel like I am taking my health by the horns and saying this is how I'm going to get better.
Yeah.
And the instant that I make a good decision, it's like I've made actually 10 good decisions because the
Yeah.
ripple effect of one good decision
Yeah.
for my mental health. And the biggest thing that a lot of my family members maybe will remain nameless, or friends, thing that I've learned is that it's okay. I'm such a people person and I thrive with connection, but I am realizing that I am also then quite drained by bad connections. And to say that it's actually okay when someone says, hey, can we, or is it okay if we just have this thing at your house? And then I say, actually, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
and no guilt.
Right. That's
Absolutely.
nice.
Not one drop of guilt, realizing it's healthy. Like it's like Brenna, like you make these choices every day and you know at
Yeah.
the end of the day, when you put your head on the pillow, you feel so good.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, that Snickers bar would taste good in the moment, just like for me to say yes to something will feel good in the moment, but in the long run, it's not worth your health. Like to
Right.
feel, have the energy and feel good. And I'm realizing mental health is the same way, and that way more women need to be okay, and men, sorry, men, I'm not trying to exclude you. Way more people need to be okay with saying that feels, I can't handle that. That feels
Yeah.
overwhelming. Like our beautiful Ashley today, she said, actually, guys, I'm not feeling good. I can't do this
Yeah.
podcast. Was that hard for her to say? Probably. She was probably
Yes.
probably
Yeah.
mad. And were any of us mad? No, of course not.
No.
I admire truth and self-care.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's something that I am just striving, and it's something that I will be talking about at the Women's Summit at
Yes.
the end of October.
Yes. Neat plug.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Yep.
Yeah. When you were talking, it just reminds me of like breaking your ankle and someone being like, well, I wanted to go do sprints. So are you not going to go do sprints with me? And us being like, well, that would be rude for me to tell them I can't go do sprints on this broken ankle. So I'll just go do them. I mean,
Yep.
it's just crazy. Or even just being too prideful to take medicine would be like telling the people, don't put the cast on my broken arm because I can do this. I can
It'll
heal
make you look
this.
weak. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do this. I can heal this on my own. That's
Yeah.
weakness. And it's just kind of crazy. So, oh, Cam, say some things.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
100%.
Cam,
I was just about to pack up my stuff and take it to the closet because I've never had this much trouble before.
I just would do anything to keep you on here.
It's like I can do like 30 seconds and it just kicks me out.
Yeah,
So I was gonna
but
try to go to my closet where I used to record and see if that works better.
okay, go back and try to get back on. But I got to tell you, your perseverance through this entire episode, I feel like going on a run. Like, I'm so inspired. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know, but Cam hasn't just tried to get back on like 3 times and then just given up. I mean, it's been like 90 times, 90.
Yes.
So we can go to the closet and try again.
And I can hear. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the closet. You
Okay.
guys keep talking and I'll just mute myself and I'll be able to hear what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Love
But
you.
Jess, what about yours?
Yeah.
Mine, have y'all heard the 4 agreements? I'm going to butcher them because I always forget the 4th one. I can edit this part out. So let me just pull it up real fast. But have y'all heard of the 4 agreements?
Mm-mm.
Have y'all not? I'm so excited.
Is this a Texas thing?
No, I don't think so. It's a book. It's an older book and it's, hi sis. It's 1, be impeccable with your word. 2, don't take anything personally. 3, don't make assumptions. And 4, always do your best. And it's not a faith book. Maybe it is. I need to read a bunch more to see if it is. It closely matches kind of just being confident in who God says that we are while we're walking around this earth and all of these distractions. And so my flex the past few months is, if I text Sherri and she leaves me on red for 24 hours, instead of thinking she hates me, I know she's having a tough day. You don't make assumptions about what's going on. I really thought there was one. I thought there was one about gossiping. It's the be impeccable with your word. And that the way they define that is speak with integrity, say only what you mean, avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. I've been trying to just use those and let
Good.
it. I was telling Cam about it today, where Jay can physically piss me off for a couple of days. Now it's just a few thoughts. Like we can either run a couple of days, or we can just because Jay doesn't participate in this with me. Like he doesn't He's not doing anything to start the argument. He's oblivious. I'm the one making his actions mean something they don't mean. And so if I disengage, you don't even have to tell him to disengage. He never was engaged in the first place. And so, so if I physically can go in my closet and call one of you and be like, you're not going to believe this. Like, if you can talk me off the ledge, Norm won't even know anything happened and we can go on to our next moment.
That feels so good.
Mhm.
Cambria, say 1,000 words, please.
Hi, and I'm so incredibly sorry.
It's okay. You look so pretty and you tried so hard to get back in.
I'm just
Oh,
taking a picture of us.
gosh. Oh yeah, you better take a picture while everyone's here.
Yes, Cambria, I want you to
Wait.
talk before you get kicked back off. So B
Yeah,
went
keep
first and then
talking, Cam.
Sherri, and I know it's just keep talking through everybody. But we were just
Okay.
talking about what you and I were talking about earlier is just what are some things of growth you've been able to see?
Okay, well, mine, I mean, I feel like all of my answers always go back to you guys
Yeah.
because through all of 2020 is when we kind of all became a unit.
Yeah.
And so I think like for me, it's like letting people into my little life, you know? You guys know that I'm not a people person. But you guys are my dang people. And there's so many people like through this podcast, you know, on our Instagrams that are just
Yeah.
hype us up. And you know, I mean, I could name like 15 of them right now, but I mean, there's just so many nice people that I've let in because of this experience. And I don't think I would have done this had it not been COVID and all of us like coming together the way we did.
So beautiful.
Okay, there you go. What were the other questions? I'll try to answer them.
No, that was beautiful. That's the only one that we've talked about. We kind of got to explaining just along those lines how we kind of, you know, in our last few episodes, we kind of got to an impasse where we really just physically want to be together. And that can really get us pissed off pretty quickly. And Sherri may have cried like a little baby, but I was strong. I was so strong, level headed,
Mhm.
like a warrior
And-
princess.
I just sat here dead inside. So
Okay, here's another one. Cambria, you go first, okay? What is your
Okay.
favorite month of the year? Our seasons are different, so you have to explain why it's your favorite month.
Okay, December, hands down.
Oh,
I get done with farming season.
yeah,
I get to go to the NFR for a week.
yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
So
And
nice.
Christmas, I absolutely love Christmas.
Mm.
And it's the beginning of my snowmobile season.
Nice.
There's
That's
so
a
many good things
perfect.
about December.
That makes
Mhm.
me want to say December.
And it's Jackson's birthday too.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And it's Ash's birthday. And it's
Yep.
Jay Norman's
And Jay
birthday.
Norman's. Yep. Sherri, what's yours?
I would say November because it's not quite like -40 yet,
Mhm.
and the work is all done. I
It's
love,
your birthday.
and it's my birthday.
Mhm.
Is it? It is. And I love being the center of attention, and I'm a middle child, and yeah, and all the things like snowmobiling and all that stuff. Going skating
November.
outside on the pond and just being out. Like I just love being outside when it's like so thick snow that it's like quiet. And just
Yes.
that
Ooh,
like
I love that.
it's just so peaceful.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it.
B, what
And there's
about you?
There's no yard work.
Right?
I don't know. I think I find like May, June-ish, that area, just because winters have been so hard for me the last few years,
Yeah.
like mentally. And so
Mhm.
when the flowers start coming out and it starts getting warm, when you can feel the warmth on your skin and it, you know, just
Mhm.
warm and bright. There's flowers, the first
Mhm.
cutting of the lawn.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
smell that grass, the
Uh-huh.
sprinkler sounds, a
Oh, yeah.
popsicle. Yeah.
Oh, tell me you don't live in Texas without telling me you don't live in Texas. Nothing is
Spoiled.
lovely about June. Nothing,
funny.
unless you love 110-degree weather.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sounds, you're describing our spring or our fall. That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Mm.
describing spring for sure. I would kind of cheat. Well, you said May, June. I'm going to say September, October. I'm obsessed with fall, like obsessed. Like when I think about it, I feel warm inside. I'm not a pumpkin spice person. I could be persuaded, easily persuaded. But the sweaters and the scarves and the boots and the tights and the leaves and the just the way it feels and the way that it smells. I'm just obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh,
That is awesome.
that's a
That's
good
happening right now.
at y'all's place.
Mhm.
Is it?
Yep. Yeah, the nights are getting nice and cold now, and the
Yeah.
leaves are starting to turn, and everything's getting crunchy, and
Oh, love it.
yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, we're still
And-
very, very green here.
I'm not a pumpkin spice person either. I missed that class, but
Yeah.
I have discovered apple spice.
Uh-huh.
Holy moly!
Really?
I go to Starbucks, no jokes, maybe I'm a little bit of a coffee snob.
Me
Like I
too.
really like those like indie coffee places
Yeah.
where you pay $9 for a flat white. But Starbucks has an apple crisp latte.
I'll
If
have
that
to
is
try
not
that.
fall in a cup, that is I tried one because someone gave me a very beautiful lady named Caitlin at Wild Rose Farmer sent me
Mm,
a Starbucks card because she wanted to take me out for coffee.
it's so
virtually.
She's so nice.
She is very nice.
sweet.
And it was a apple spice and it was delicious. Just do extra hot, half sweet.
Okay, extra hot, half sweet. You'll have
Mhm.
to text me. And ours too, my September, October, the significance of it is just Jay and I go to the beach.
When
And
you say the
then
beach, where do you mean?
we lately have been going to the Texas coast. We tried to branch out. And at the last second, he's like, "Can I just book Padre?" I was like, "Yeah," because we had tried. Miss Cambria Elliott is flying in October, and Jay and I are taking her to Fort Worth. And so that's October. And then
Oh,
November,
that'll be fun.
I know. November, we go to the Ranch Rodeo in Amarillo, and December is NFR. So the whole fall is just packed with like my favorite stuff.
That sounds
That's
wonderful.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
excited. Sorry I couldn't add like my little 2 cents to the night.
You added a bunch more than 2 cents.
Your badass comment was the best part of the whole thing.
I know.
Oh, good. I hope it came through clear.
It did. Mhm.
I'm going to
Good.
use it as the caption.
Yeah,
Mhm. Sherri is a badass.
he is a badass.
Oh man.
Well, I love y'all, and I hope that y'all have an awesome rest of the night. And oh, does anyone want to pray and remember Ashley in your prayers with her migraine?
Mhm. Sorry,
Yeah.
it sounded very morbid when you said, and remember Ashley.
I know it did. So I tried to add like what?
Pour one out.
So
Where's
I will
Jay?
gladly pray.
do you want
Oh,
me to go
yes.
get Jay so you can see him on this bridge?
No, thank you.
Hold on one second.
No, I'm praying. Don't leave. That's rude. Dear God, I just want to thank you so much for these ladies. They are a gift. And I know that I can just imagine you just smiling and loving every time we get together and just fill each other's cups with love and joy. I just want to pray now for Ashley, Lord. She is struggling with her health. She's not feeling the greatest tonight. Please, Lord, surround her. Just protect her from attack and heal her body so that she can wake up tomorrow and be a totally healthy, revived, energized mama for her babies. And I just want to again ask you for wisdom, peace, and guidance in every walk and area of our lives. We know you're in control. We know you are sovereign. And we thank you so much for never leaving or forsaking us. Amen.
Yes,
Amen.
beautiful.
Beautiful,
Amen.
Sherri.
Thank you, Sherri.
Amen.
I still think you should go get Jay,
I
please.
I texted him to come here and he's naked.
Why?
He's getting in the shower, so you
Is
won.
this
You won,
Is,
Sherri.
is this trip the same one that
Yeah, that one.
We've told it.
Yeah, that one.
We've told it a bunch of times. Let's tell it again. You say it, sis. No,
would
this
it have been 3 years ago or 2 years ago?
Cam will say 4.
Lost.
Cam makes it longer. When I first
Really?
met B and when I first met Cam, because y'all met in the same month, didn't you? Y'all met in the
Maybe.
same month. It was all kismet. Like
I think we had
all,
known each other, but I can't
it was like
remember.
all in the
It was
fall of a
close. I
certain
feel like it was
year.
close, yeah.
When we looked at it, you guys, when we tried to see like our first interactions with everybody, they were all so close. But so I met B and I thought, oh God, she acts just like us. And I met Cam, same thing. So I put B and Cam in a thread and it didn't take. They wouldn't talk to me. And the reason is I was on vacation at South Padre. And so they thought that they were like bothering me. We talked a little bit, didn't we? But I
Yeah,
just,
we talked enough.
Yeah.
but I
Enough
thought
for
it
us
would
to
turn
think that
into
you needed time.
yeah, I thought it would turn into something and it didn't. And I remember telling Jay, I thought that they would like each other and they didn't. And they're not even like, B didn't even respond hardly unless I would
Well, I
just
felt
text
like
her
I was, like,
myself.
I felt like I was in the presence of celebrities.
No.
And so
you
I was like,
did?
I kind of have that personality that if we've met
Yeah.
once, I'm pretty sure you'll never like remember me if you were to see me
Mhm.
again. If we met 1,000 times, I'm pretty sure you won't remember me.
Yep.
So I
same.
just, you know,
I've told y'all the story, but the very first video I ever sent B was from vacation. And I was showing her my room and we were brand new friends. And Cam wasn't on this thread. I hadn't started it yet. And she wrote back, was that Jay naked in the background?
Right.
And
Oh, right.
I started bawling and Jay's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, she doesn't know me. She's going to think I pretended to not know you were there and I did it on purpose and that I'm like a sicko. And I was mortified. And I said a couple things to be letting on to that. Like, I'm so embarrassed. And she's like, oh my God, I should have never even told you. I should have, she thought it was funny. And I
did. Well,
did
you said
not.
something like, that's not the kind of person I am. So I was like,
It
maybe
wasn't.
she thinks that I think she's a swinger or like something.
I did.
But you were walking out of the bedroom
Oh,
and he was
that's
just
awful.
he was in the background face down, like he was laying on the bed. So I just saw like maybe a butt cheek.
But
And I was like,
for it to be our first video, our
well,
first one.
I think it was perfect and there shouldn't have been any other way.
But do you guys remember Cam and B? Do y'all remember I went down to the pool and that married couple got in that horrific fight and I was narrating the whole thing to y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they were telling me what I should do. And God, this man was like, Sherri, this man was like, do you see why you're unlovable? Do you see why people can't love you? It's because you act like this. This is how you act, and nobody wants to be around it. And she was so calm. You knew it wasn't her. You knew it wasn't just because I'm a girl, I'm gonna take up for the girl. You knew it wasn't her the whole time. You could read it.
I
And
love that.
he was an absolute narcissist.
I love it.
And then
I love that. That's delicious.
Send Jay's butt to B, and that was it. It was awful, huh?
Well, and as I was sending it, I didn't want to bring attention to it, but I was like, that awkwardness in me that's like, just, think after you send it.
It should have been funny.
It was really funny.
It is funny.
It should have been funny.
Yeah.
So Jay and I are taking Kim to Fort Worth to the stockyards for a couple
That'll
of
be
nights.
so fun. I'm jealous. I want to go there one day.
I want you to. I know. Please fly in. I'm trying to get Ash to come, but I don't know if she'll be able to. But it's less than a month, huh? It's like 25 days.
Oh, we'll be so busy with onions.
Well, we all had something planned at the end of October, and so I already had like planned on going to Texas. Figured
It
I'm
worked
still gonna-
good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I hate you.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
just hate you from afar.
Well, so
We'll
Sherri,
encourage you and then tell you to your face we hate you.
Ash was on my TikTok last month, and then I introduced Sherri today. And then Cam will physically be with me. So B will have to think of something.
I know I had to shut off TikTok because it was wasting all my time.
Well, you don't have to turn it back on. You just have to show up on mine.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And watch
I mean,
all
I
the
still have
thousands
it.
that I've sent you. I've sent you so many TikToks.
Really?
I'm gonna go through them tonight because Jake will be asleep early, so that's what I'm doing tonight. I'll go through them all.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
sorry.
so many
I'll
funny
just
Don't be
send them-
sorry.
I'm gonna send them to you via other avenues now on.
Send them anyways. Just let me know when you send them, and I'll go look.
And I love when people send me
Mhm.
TikToks. Like Emma and I, we probably send each other, no jokes, 35 TikToks a day.
Yeah.
But we have a rule that we don't have to like it or
Say.
respond.
Say.
It is a
Yeah.
completely like what's the word, commitment. Like you just look at the
Yes. Oh.
TikTok and enjoy it. There's
What
Yeah.
a
no
beautiful rule.
I'm very low maintenance when it comes to stuff like that. That's great.
Okay,
All right.
guys, I'm gonna go. I gotta get kids in bed.
I love y'all. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye. Cam, thanks for trying so hard.
I tried, man.
You're really, it's like the best try I've ever seen. All right. Love you. Love y'all.
Bye.